Hello and welcome back to my 31 days of being thankful in the midst of chaos. Today we are going to be talking about being thankful while giving. And we will be in 2 Corinthians again, chapter 9, verses 11 and 12. I will be reading out of the NLT. Once you get there, we can get started. Verse 11. Yes, you will be enriched in every way so that you can always be generous. And when we take your gifts to those who need them, they will thank God. So two good things will result from this ministry of giving. The needs of the believers in Jerusalem will be met, and they will joyfully express their thanks to God. I actually don't think I have ever read this verse or just read those two verses and really thought about them. It's like I know I'm supposed to give and I should be generous with what I've already been given. I've never read that until today. I don't know why. This right here is the biggest time of the year when people are giving more. And I kind of want to know why that is. Are they giving because they hear the bells at the stores? Is it because they see the Christmas trees with the little stockings on them? What about the mittens on the walls or windows? I've seen those before. What is it that makes them want to give more? Is it because they are actually thankful for everything that they have, or do they just feel like they have to? Nowadays, I don't feel like people are the ones to just do it because they have to. It's either they feel like they are supposed to, or it's because it's coming out of a place within their hearts where they want to. Do you ever get that feeling of great joy when you buy something for a complete stranger and you know that you are receiving more thankfulness than they probably are themselves being on the receiving end? I know I do. I sometimes get to the point where I could cry because I know that it was just something I was sincerely supposed to do. And I receive so much more than they do. It's beautiful. Are you seeing, though, what is happening when you're giving? When I am giving generously out of what I have already been given, I'm receiving something out of that. That person is receiving maybe an answered prayer. God is getting the glory out of it, especially if the person was praying about it. I love seeing those stories or reading them where somebody just had this thought to go and buy a gallon of milk, some diapers, and like a box of mac and cheese. I've heard a very similar story to that. I don't know what the actual items were, but I know it included a gallon of milk. He just heard God say, you need to drive to this street. And then he got to that street, and then he was like, you need to go to this blue house on the left, and then knocks on the door. The person receiving it was I know it was a mom, and she had a baby because that's why she needed the milk, or a toddler, whoever it was. The mom said that she was praying about feeding her kids because she had nothing. And man, I love hearing those because it's making me emotional right now because it's just showing God does answer those prayers, that there are people that hear him that way. Amazing. I love it. I'm going to read out of what they put in this. It was kind of insightful. I did add one thing to the end of it because I had recently studied on this a touch, and they had 4 key giving things that are received through giving. The first one was giving helps others. That's pretty simple. Your generosity helps supply the needs of others. That in itself is a great thing. But there is much more. Giving encourages thanksgiving. Think of the difference that has been made through generous giving. Giving is proof of faith. The act of giving is evidence that you believe you will continue to receive. Giving requires us to take a risk that we may have to live without, but we must choose to be obedient to the call to give. Fourth, giving is reciprocated with prayer. The fourth benefit from the generosity of the Corinthian Christians, that it would prompt the Jerusalem Christians to pray for them. And last one is Malachi 3:8-10. It's talking about giving and being generous with your money is the only thing God asks you to test him in. I love that. Let me read it for you. It says, should people cheat God? Yet you have cheated me. But you ask, what do you mean? When did we ever cheat you? You have cheated me with the tithes and offerings due to me. You are under a curse, for your whole nation has been cheating me. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, so that there will be enough food in my temple. If you do, says the Lord of heavenly hosts, I will open the windows of heaven for you. I will pour out a blessing so great you won't have enough room to take it in. Try it. Put me to the test. Wow. Okay. So if I'm generous, he will bless me even more. And it might not be with money. It might be with something else. But I think that's amazing. I feel like it is super hard, especially if you have never tithed before or given freely in offering. It is super hard, but he says, bring it to him and you will be blessed. The last part says, while we should give without expecting anything in return, we do reap these same benefits from being giving. Our motivation is to show thankfulness to God for being generous with what he has given us. How can you be a blessing to someone today? How are you giving this season? Think about giving more than just your pocket change in the red tins with the people ringing their bells. Think about giving more than the set of gloves at the Walmart tree. Maybe it's finding a family that needs a meal. What if you were buying essentials for the mom who has a baby and a toddler and she needs the bigger boxes of diapers to make them last longer? Think about other ways to be giving this season. Let me know in the comments what something is that you have done or that you are challenging yourself to do. Until next time, go out and be a light to somebody else today. Bye.